live now. So yeah, basically we've been talking to ourselves for the last 10 minutes because apparently my stream's been a bit weird. It should have been live. It should be live now, hopefully. And I'll keep refreshing my YouTube just to make sure that it is live before I start blabbering on. Otherwise, I'm blabbering on to myself again. Let's see.
It says you're live on my screen.
Yes, I think we are live now. Apologies about that. It was working fine apparently, but obviously it wasn't. So yeah, we are now live. You missed all the introduction. Yeah, we'll quickly do a rundown of the lap times then, seeing as missed most of qualifying. Josh is quickest on a 1:33.2, just ahead of Grumps. Blue Mosquito in third in the Force India, with Aaron, who is Grumps' teammate, fourth in the Sauber. Seymour fifth, Betrayer sixth, Miles in seventh. Clyde, there we go, we've got viewers, there we go, now you know it's working. Clyde in eighth, Ravers in ninth, Haig in 10th, Mr. P 11th, LFC 12th and Deer 13th. Yeah, so sorry about that, for some reason the stream said it was working and it wasn't, so... So, my bad, thanks for explaining in the comments, that was good. So it looks like... Grump started his lap? I'm not sure. I'm trying to find who's... I'll follow Josh round, seeing as he's currently on pole.
I'm watching Betrayer, and he had a Force Indy behind him using his slipstream, but then he backed off.
I'm going to try to get himself space before his final hot lap. He won't be able to do 2 flying laps or even 3 this time. As Josh comes into turn 1, the very distinctive pink helmet, loving it. And he's a little bit wide there actually, I think. Into turn 1 and turn 2. I don't know if he lost too much time doing that. He carries on though to the end of sector 1. I think, yeah, 24.6, it's not bad. I think that's similar to what Aaron did on his opening laps. It was only 10 minutes, so yeah, it can't be too bad. Ravers, in fact, while I was saying that, has gone second on the Super Softs. Great lap from Ravers. And
LFC must have invalidated his lap because he just retired.
Oh, Aaron's about to go P1. Yep, just caught him at the end of his lap. He does a 1:32. The first man into the 1:32. That's a nice lap. Grumpy's just coming to the end of his lap. He's got a bit of traffic in front of him. I don't know if that will affect him going up to the line. He's got time for another lap, but that car in front of him may stop him from doing that, and he doesn't improve. He stays fourth. Who else is close to finishing their lap? Let's see. We have... Okay, Aaron's backed off. Josh, in fact, is coming up. Yeah, and he'll see Aaron take that fastest lap pole position away from him, and he'll want it back. This is his only attempt. Is he going to do it? He's coming towards the line. Oh, and he gets it by less than a 10 for 1:32.8, and God, these two are almost at war for the championship. They keep rivaling each other on the track, and it's great to see. Can anyone put themselves on the front row ahead of them? Ravers is on a great lap. 4.5 temps up. This could be a superb lap from Ravers. He goes a little bit wide there. Can he get it onto the front row? No, I think that last corner just cost him at the end. That's unfortunate to see. He almost had that front row start there. Who is close to finishing the lap? I think Betrayer is pretty close. Can he get himself onto the front row? Going through the lot? No, he goes in the pits, so that's a nope. What's Simo? Simo heading towards the line. I think it's going to be an improvement, but he stays sixth. Is Grumpy going for another lap? I think he did. Can Grumpy improve? He's currently in P5. He goes fourth, and Haig puts it on the front row. Great lap from Haig. 1:32.8, nearly took pole off Josh. That's a superb effort, and I think that's everyone finished their laps, and well, that's incredibly close. The top 10 separated by less than a second. All those that did their laps, really, because those outside the top 10 didn't do a lap. And wow, that's really close.
Mr. P did a lap. He just got disqualified for some unknown reason.
Oh.
I said he was parked in the middle of the track, but he was trying to turn around, it looked like, after spinning.
Yep, so Josh takes pole ahead of Haig. Aaron in third, Mr. Grumpy fourth, Ravers fifth, Miles sixth, Blue seventh, Simo eighth, Betray ninth, Clyde 10th, LFC 11th, Dave 12th, Mr. P 13th. One bit of good news, I suppose, for Mr. P and Dave and LFC as well is that they can decide, they can choose fresh tyres and a choice of compounds as well. So not out of the race by any stretch of the imagination. What do you make of that then? A championship protagonist. Aaron took pole at first and then Josh took it away from him right at the end.
I don't know. It's looking like every race we come to that they're gonna just keep flip-flopping that points lead, or 1 point each way. See what happens for the race, Josh. We'll have the cleaner coming off the line, so.
Aaron will have a perfect view of Josh just in front. And, well, yeah, they got into the 32s at the end. It didn't look like that was going to happen until right at the death. So, fair play. Josh wants that championship lead back after a disastrous race in Spain last time out, which we mentioned at the start of the stream, but never was. And yeah, if you haven't watched the Spanish Grand Prix, definitely recommend you go back and watch it. The final 3 laps in particular are absolutely frenetic, and there was multiple position changes. In fact, the race winner from last week, Game Freaker, is absent this evening, but the top 3 in the championship are here.
Yeah, he was so excited he went on vacation.
Can't say I blame him. What a race! needs to recover after that, because that was absolutely mental. And it is a dry start, so I don't think Betray improved in the end. So we'll start on pretty worn, probably worn tyres more than most. So interesting to see how he gets on. Got 13 cars taking a start. It looks a little overcast, but I wouldn't say it looks terrible. But interesting if there is any rain later on in the race. And how bad it is, because we've seen sometimes wet races, but we don't even need wet tyres. Or intermediates, for that matter.
Yes, remember that one well.
Good old co-masters. So, will there be another change in the lead of the championship this evening? We're seconds away from seeing the start of a Chinese Grand Prix. Round number 7 of the PSGL Formula 4 League. Alright, so the lights are on. With 5 lights. Josh on the right, Haig on the left. And we're underway here in China. And Mr. P hasn't got off the line, so must have other commitments as Josh keeps leading to turn 1 ahead of Haig. The 2 Saubers going side by side, Miles up to 5th. And Josh keeps the lead with the Saubers still battling for position. Who's going to get that 3rd place? It looks like it's going to be Aaron who keeps 3rd, and Miles and Ravers are alongside each other further behind. Oh, and there's contact! And a Ferrari! Oh, and they've spotted to a McLaren! That's Simo and Clyde, I think that is, that have gone off the track. That was utter carnage there. I think Simo just lost the car, and there was unfortunately nowhere for the McLaren to go other than into the Ferrari, so that's unfortunate for him. Hopefully they can still salvage something from this race. Meanwhile, Josh has kept the lead at the front ahead of Haig in the Force India. The 2 Saubers still very close on track as we see a few cars going wide out of turn 9. And can all Betray looking at Miles, but thinking deciding against the move. And now onto the straight for the first time. No DRS in operation, so unless you're really close, it's going to be tough to gain much momentum from the car in front. Especially as the slipstream glitch might be in operation with Mr. P having left.
Yeah.
But Miles is having a look at Blue Mosquito. He has a think about the inside, but again, just slots in behind. And we end lap 1, and no change in the top 4 positions at the moment, so it is as you were at the front. It looks like Aaron's pretty close to Haig. Is he going to have a look down the inside to turn 1? No, he's not.
Simo and Clyde will be pitting to fix their wings now.
Yeah, and you'd imagine probably for the medium tyres for a long stint.
Yeah.
It's the only real way of getting back into this one. I don't know if the safety car's on in this league. I'm going to guess it's not.
No.
So that really does affect you, I think. Affect your chances of getting back into the race.
I'm thinking they might go soft to end the race.
Yep. Yeah, they've gone soft. So LFC and Dave have gone for the medium tyres though. So interesting to see how they get on in this race. They're currently just behind Mars and Betrayer, so can just run their own race at the moment and maybe become a factor later on. I suppose one advantage as well, if you run the mediums, you can then work out what tyres you can get away with on the last stint.
Yeah. If you could go at least 20 with them, you could make it to the end on supers.
Ravers having to go very defensive against Blue Mosquito, is looking to get up into 5th place. But meanwhile, while that's happening, Aaron and Haig are side by side down the straight. Aaron's got the inside line, but has he got the momentum? He's right alongside him. He's alongside Haig. He's going to try and make the move. Oh, and he gives Haig space, but he's got the outside line. Will Haig back out? No, he doesn't. They're still alongside each other going towards the start-finish line. All this is allowing Josh to pull clear behind. Ravers and Blue Mosquito are side by side as well, I think. But who's going to get the line to turn 1? It looks like... No, they're still alongside each other. Grumps has got a perfect view of all this happening. And it looks like Iran has taken P2. And in fact, Grumps could potentially have a go as well at getting past Haig. But no, I think he had a bit of oversteer on the exit of the corner. And Aaron is up to 2nd, and for him now, he'll want to start chasing after Josh, who has pulled a bit of a lead. Meanwhile, behind them, Ravers and Blue Mosquito are still alongside each other as well. Oh, they're going to come towards a fast turn, 6 and 7, and that's not a corner you particularly want to be side by side through, but it looks like Ravers is going to carry the momentum and keep the position. Is he? No, they're still alongside each other. How? It's almost half a lap they've been side by side for. But Ravers has the position, finally. What a battle that was. Respectful racing between them, which is good to see as well. Like, they gave each other space throughout that. Now, I don't think that's the end of that battle. Meanwhile, though, Grumps is looking pretty racy behind the Force India of Haig. But I think
DRS.
Haig will also have DRS, though, which might neutralise the effect.
Sure.
And yeah, there's no way through. Haig nearly had a look at Iran, as Blue Mosquito thinks about a look at Ravers, but decides against it. And Josh has had a perfect start from his point of view. He's got the lead that he wanted over his main championship rival. Still a long, long way to go. What can Josh do against Iran? Haig is right behind Aaron still. Aaron hasn't been able to break the toe about Force India. Haig won't give up, for sure. So what do you make of that start then overall? Who impressed you?
Josh impressed me. He was able to pull away with the clean air. And he's still pulling away a little bit. Let's see. Stuff first. Dave gained 3 spots, started with the fresh tires in 12. Looking for him to make a deep run into the top 7, top 5.
It's weird that this race is almost separated into sort of 2 separate races almost. So I've got a top 4 and then sort of got a battle for 5th between 4 cars. There's a 3.5 second gap between these 2 battles. It's almost like becoming 2 different races almost. It looks like
that's how it was last week too.
Yeah, and then we sort of saw towards the end of it, they sort of converged into 1.
Yeah, it went from 3 and 4 to 7.
It's almost the same drivers. I'd say the 1 big change, the 2 big changes at is that Haig, no not Haig, sorry, Grumps is with the lead group. Because in the first stint of the last race, he was stuck behind Hulkenberger, who apparently was holding him up a little bit. So now he's right where he wants to be, and he'll want to get past Haig because then he can back up his teammate, and he'll be into a podium position. It looks like... Oh, I wonder if there's been something gone on between Miles and somebody else, because Miles, who was right behind Blue Mosquito, is now 2 seconds behind. Betrayer's still behind him though, so it makes it even more confusing as to what happened. Maybe Miles and Betrayer had a slight moment together, I'm not sure. It doesn't look like they have damage.
Neither one.
Oh, very...
Blue Mosquito looks like he has a bit of damage on his left side, I think.
Oh, and the two medium runners are battling there. Dave and LFC for life for P9. I'm not sure battling's what they want to do, but Betrayer, meanwhile, ducks out of Mars' slipstream and thinks about it, but oh, Mars runs a little bit wide.
Oh, and he's on the grass.
Oh, and he's on the grass, and I think he almost let Betrayer through there. Didn't want to... It looks like he's struggling a bit, Mars, there. A little bit for traction, so... Yeah, Betrayer up to 7th now, and he'll want to start chasing down Ravens and Blue, who are battling 5th.
Holy Jesus. Miles has +5 laps of fuel on his car.
Wow, and Haig pits. Haig pits on lap 6. That's an early stop, and that would suggest a 2-stopper unless he's going to take the mediums a very long way. I think it'll be a good indicator of what he's going for here, depending on the tyres. He's going on super softs again. No, he's not.
No.
No, he changed colour. Yeah, he is.
What?
I've got no idea. There's either super softs or softs. I think either one of those would suggest a 2-stopper.
Yeah.
So, Haig pitting.
Be taking softs on the second stop.
Yeah, Haig pitting early and committing to the 2-stopper. Interesting to see. He'll be very quick at the end of a race compared to some of those around him, I feel, so could definitely make things very exciting at the end. Meanwhile now...
strung out.
Yeah, and Aaron's starting to close a little bit on Josh. Gap below 2 seconds. And Gulp's just following him behind at the moment, so... I'd say they're all in pretty strong positions, and it would be a case of who's going to blink first, because... I guess one thing with Haig pitting early, it could potentially mean that... well, all of them could come out behind Haig at this point.
Yeah, that's true. I think after the puncture last week, Haig's definitely playing it safe in the tire strategy this week.
I think Blue Mosquito's made a mistake as well, because he's lost time to Ravers, and now has got Betrayer right behind him, so Betrayer has caught Blue probably a little bit quicker than he expected. I wonder if anyone's going to make a pit stop this lap, because it does look like a few drivers are starting to make a few mistakes. No one pits at the moment. And yeah, it's as you were. Aaron's definitely starting to close in on Josh. I wonder if Josh just conserving his tyres, or if Aaron has a bit more pace at the moment.
Haig's already cut 2 seconds out of the gap between him and 9th.
Yeah, fresh super softs against, well, I wouldn't say warm mediums, but used mediums. Should be a good pace advantage for Haig, and he's got a nice bit of clear air, Haig, actually. About 7 seconds is a good buffer, and it means he can get the hammer down without having to worry about traffic at the moment. I think on a 2-stopper, that's the big thing you hope to avoid, is traffic. Because it's all about having the ultimate pace and just putting in qualifying lap after qualifying lap.
And he's 16 seconds off the lead, so that's definitely within the window to be in front of everybody when they pit.
Oh, definitely. He's in a good position here at the moment, but interesting to see how quick the drivers can go on worn tyres compared to Haig on much quicker ones. It looks like the gaps are sort of spaced out between the top 3 now. Aaron's had a pretty poor lap compared to Josh this time around, so maybe Josh was just maybe saving a bit of fuel. Something Mars definitely doesn't need to do.
There goes Dave on Miles. To DRS.
Oh, and down the inside goes Dave on Miles. On those medium tyres, I wonder if Miles is going to be pitting. Yeah, I think he is, because he sort of lifted off. Yeah, that was a problem there, because he was on the wrong line. If he'd have swiped into the pit, he would have taken out Dave with him. Ravers has also pitted. Ravers is going on to, well, I'm going to say super softs. They keep changing, it's really irritating. But yeah, it is super softs on the Ravers car, so...
Yep. Miles on the mediums.
Miles going for mediums, so would that suggest to you that he's planning to go to the end?
Sure does. You could pretty much get 21 laps on the mediums. So.
Yeah, it'll be one to look out for then. I think he might have to do some defending later on in the race, but if he can just hold a decent pace and consistency on those tyres, he's on for some good points. No doubt about it. Betrayer is not really putting much pressure on Blue at first. I mean, Blue must have made a mistake because you don't lose 2 seconds like that. Betrayer goes a little bit wide into the left-hander there. There's a 7-second gap between Grumps and Blue Mosquito, so it really has become into sort of 2 separate groups of drivers, but with the different strategies it might potentially mix up as we go on.
Oh, sure.
LFC must be sick of a sight today, because ever since they started on mediums they've been battling and oh, Miles has spun. Miles has spun and he can't get the car back round, and thank goodness he's ghosted. Yeah. As Josh and Grumps both pit, as does Blue Mosquito. Josh got held.
And Miles just spun again. Definitely has some grass on the tires or something. And he just drove through the grass.
Oh, Haig's way in front of Josh. But Josh is on the mediums and will probably be going to the end, as will Grumps, as will Blue Mosquito. And Ravers Ravers gets in front of Blue Mosquito again, but he's behind Grumps. So Haig's got 4 seconds almost on Josh, but he will have to stop again. But do you think Haig will be a threat later on in the race with those fresh softs?
Oh, and Miles just DNF'd on purpose.
Right. So
depends on how much pace he could get out of the softs at the end. Because everyone will be back by him again, so he's going to have to work his way through the traffic.
Absolutely. And he's going to soon catch up to these battling medium tyre runners who will probably not make things easy. As LFC goes for a move, he cuts the corner a little bit, I think, to avoid contact with Dave. And yeah, that was close to contact. Oh, Jesus, they need to make contact with the fast right-hander as well. I think LFC had to lift off a little bit there. He's going to have the DRS though, so I don't think this is over just yet. LFC looks eager to get past Dave, and he goes to the inside. The McLaren.
Oh, he overdrove.
Oh, but he's overshot it by a distance, and now he's going to have Haig on fresh super softs to deal with, as Iran and Betrayer both pit. So they only went 1 lap extra, but to be fair, that 1 lap could make a difference from the end of the race. I assume that Iran's going for mediums, yes.
The mediums.
They keep switching to softs. That's incredibly irritating.
And Haig hugs the inside corner.
Takes
a second.
Oh, it's a nice move from experience on Krimmer. That's an easy move to do in the AI. So looks like LFC left the door open, and Josh accepted the invitation and took 2nd place. And I don't think it was too long before he's past Dave as well. He's just gonna have so much more grip. It's like most drivers are going to the end. It's Haig and Ravers that are going to be the odd ones out. Let me just see how they stack up from the end of the race. There is only 11 drivers left. Don't be fooled by 12th place Mr. P. He left the session some time ago.
Hopefully everything's okay.
Yep, hope everything's good. Haig should get a run here out the one right-hander. So he should be able to make a move stick, I would guess. Anyway, he needs to anyway. It's important for his race that he gets past down straight. He shouldn't be. I don't think Dave will fight him too much. He's not really someone he's battling with. And Haig has the inside lap. Well, Dave does brake pretty late. But, oh! Haig wasn't having any of that and gets the line and sort of runs him out of road a little bit. Fair move, but definitely some hard racing there. He definitely didn't want to get into a battle there. Oh, and I wonder here what's going to go on at Sauber, because Grumps is right behind Aaron for P5, and they're both going to the end. So this is a battle for position. Grumps will know that Aaron has designs on the title, but at the same time will want to do himself justice. So is he gonna look to make a move, I wonder? Down to turn 5, he stays behind for now, but doesn't look like he'll be, looks like he's got a lot of pace at the moment, Grumps, compared to Aaron. Would that be fair? So Josh very soon is going to catch up to those medium tyre runners who've been on medium since the start. They're the only ones who have yet to stop. So I think they'll probably come out around SEMA, but the important thing for them is what tyres can they go on to. If they can take the tyres to around lap 18, 19, they could probably go on to super softs.
Yeah.
But Josh will want to get past these drivers quickly because the Saubers are not far behind. So this is interesting. It's a battle for position, but it's also kind of not. So, but they may fight against these three a little bit more because they are theoretically on the same strategy.
Yeah. Just the opposite. What's that?
Yep. So this is important.
Technically, Josh does have the lead right now since the top 3 do have to pit.
Yeah, so it's important really. And we haven't really seen any corner cutting penalties yet, but that's kind of what we'd expect because this isn't really a sort of track where you'd expect to get penalised that much. Well, where would you corner cut really around here?
Only in the last corner, really.
Yeah. Josh is right behind LFC. And same, Grumps is right behind Aaron as well, so 2 battles to keep an eye on here. We thought about it, but decided against it. He's going for the run down the straight, but he's going to have to look behind him as well because Aaron is right there. This is such an important move, and this is a shocking camera angle. So on board with Josh then, he goes to the inside of a McLaren. This is a key move for him. How much does... Oh, and LFC for Life completely missed his braking spot and nearly took out Dave in the process. And, well, that's just made Aaron and Grump's lives very easy. And now Aaron's right up behind him, behind Josh. He got a bit of a bad run out of the last corner. Could Josh get past Dave quickly? Or is he going to be stuck behind him through turn 1? Oh, he's going to go to the inside. Oh, he struggles with the car a bit. He doesn't want to hit Dave. Dave leaves him space. I think Josh has got a better traction and gets the move done, but bad news for Josh is that Aaron's going to follow him straight through, and I get the feeling Grumps won't be too far at the back of him as well. Aaron goes to the inside. He sort of gives Dave a choice there. You can see a battle in move, but it might cost you your place on track. And Aaron takes P3. Haig's still out in front, but he does have a stop to make yet. And he's pulled the gap up to almost 5 seconds to Josh, but it won't be too long but his tyres start feeling a little bit worn. Grumps needs to get past Dave as well now. He doesn't want to lose too much time stuck behind him. Oh, and it's not the ideal place to try and move, in all honesty. Through the long right-hander, you'd been better off waiting. I know he's in a rush, but there's only so much you can do. And surely he's got... Well, he's right behind him. Dave has got DRS though, which is making things a little bit more difficult. Grumps, is he going to go late on the brakes? He goes to the inside. Dave's not giving up.
Contact.
A bit of contact, tries to squeeze him out, and Grumps gets the position, but it took him a lot longer than he would have wanted. He's now almost 2 seconds behind Aaron and Josh, who are right behind each other. Meanwhile, Ravers is looking for a move down the inside of LC to turn 1, and that's a nice move. But Ravers is coming back at him.
Back on the inside.
Oh, Ravers leaves the room for LFC, but it looks like Ravers has just about got the move done in the end. That was a little bit more difficult than you would have hoped.
Oops.
Yeah, Fish just saying, asked him how much he wanted it, I think in regards to the Grumps move on Dave. He really wanted to get that move done.
Yeah, we're unsure about the rain, Fish. We haven't heard anything for weather from anybody.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain, by the looks of it.
But the strategies they're doing seems like it's going to be dry throughout.
And now the two Red Bulls battling on very different strategies, so I'd be shocked if Dave made this overly difficult for Ravers, and it doesn't look like he has. Although they are still side by side actually, so maybe I was wrong. Ravers looking down the inside, in fact ahead. Oh, it's Josh having to defend from Iran. Iran's looking down to get past it a hairpin, but couldn't quite manage it. And this is a battle we definitely have to be watching, because these are the top two in the championship, just 1 point separating them, and now they're right together on track as well. I mean, if this isn't a sign that this title is going to go down to the decider, I don't know what is, because these two are so evenly matched, aren't they?
They sure are.
Josh stays ahead for now.
And that 1 point lead keeps swapping back and forth.
Yep, there's going to be, it's looking like it's going to be Josh with a 1 point lead to the next race, which is Japan next week, a firm favourite with most drivers, I imagine. Certainly me, anyway. So I'm looking forward to commentating.
Should be another dandy of a race.
Yep, and Japan is not exactly known for dry weather either, so potentially could see even more rain. In fact, I'm surprised this race hasn't got wet conditions, because every race I've commentated so far has had rain. Sorry guys. Oh, and LFC there had a huge moment, but he just about gathered it back, but about nearly lost the car, and it could have been a huge crash. That's a sign maybe those medium tyres are starting to go off, because he really had trouble there on the throttle. No, Fisher, you can't miss Josh's helmet. Definitely not. I won't forget that Josh has a pink helmet every week. Whereas Irvin's helmet, I would say, blends in quite well with the colours of the car.
Oh, she wasn't Force India.
And Haig pits. So he'll be going on to soft tyres now till the end, and it'll be interesting to see where he comes out on track and how quick he can be. He's going to drop quite far down actually. He's going to be P9 I think by the looks of it, behind Betrayer. He's got a lot of work to do. I'm not sure if that two-stopper is going to work out for him. It looks like unless he has ridiculous pace on those soft tyres, he's going to struggle to get back up towards the front group for sure.
He should make a thin out of the puncture this week.
Oh, for sure. It's good. There's one good point though, that there is still some drivers that need to pit.
Simon Kleider.
Yeah, Dave, LFC, and Ravers will have to pit. Ravers has made a stop, but he's on 2 sets of super softs, so he could carry on. But
Ravers is about 1 lap away now.
Yeah, Ravers must be close to pitting now. So if that's the case, then that would promote Blue Mosquito to 4th, Betrayer to 5th, and Haig to 6th. So Haig's not in actually as bad of a position as I thought, but he's going to have to close in on the cars ahead of him pretty quickly. And once again, Iran battling Josh. The use of DRS is helping him get very, very close. Josh using all the defensive tricks he knows to keep that Sauber behind him, but very soon he could have a double-pronged Sauber attack from behind, because Grumpy's also pretty close as well. Josh has gone a little wide, and Iran thinks about the inside. Josh is left for room. Oh, and then almost shuts the door. There was a little bit of contact there, and Iran nearly lost the car.
It was a nice save.
It was. All those years of experience helping him out.
Ravers onto his softs.
So look at the tyres everyone's on. Yeah, no one's on the super softs now. Everyone the mediums or the softs. depending on what their choice of strategy was.
Oh, Dave and LFC will be on Supers pretty soon.
That's a good point, and they're still right next to each other as they have been pretty much all race. Despite LFC's couple of moments where he nearly smashed into Dave and then where he nearly lost the car. Well, this is going to be interesting. Can Josh fend off not one, but two Saubers? And this is a battle firmly to the end because they don't have to stop again and there's no one really particularly close. So these are the three people we're likely to be speaking to after the race, unless there's a huge crash. But what order will they be in? Josh still holding them off for now. Dave and LFC for life, I think, are battling behind. They really, I mean, that is a real good battle. It's been going on for 17 laps now. And they might be thinking about pitting soon. They stay out for now, and Blue Mosquito will not like that because he's right behind them. And he wants to get past because those medium tyres will not be good on those cars now. Haig is definitely on the march with that fastest lap. And he'll be joining this battle very soon too. Back to the front. I don't want to take my eyes off this just in case I miss something at the front. Because this is not only the battle for the win, this is the battle in the championship. And it's also the battle in the constructors because Sauber and Ferrari are separated by just 1 point at the top. And as it stands, Sauber are going to be stealing a big march with both drivers looking for podium finishes today. I mean, for most of a lap, it's pretty much as you were, because I think really the only major overtaking spot, unless you make a mistake, is, well, it's probably the end of the long straight and then maybe turn one, depending on when you get out of the last corner.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like Kieran's got the best run out of the run right-hander. The trouble is that run right-hander, you can get caught in the dirty air of the car behind, and that can affect your run out of the turn. But is Aaron close enough? Is he going to think about a move on Josh? He's going to stay behind for now. Grumps is just a very, very interested spectator at the moment, but Aaron is right there, out of the last corner. He's going to have a definite go into turn one for sure. Josh is going to have to go to the inside. He does. Aaron takes the outside line and then ducks underneath for the inside. Oh, that is a fantastic overtake. Oh, that is superb. That's a champion's move right there. And Josh, well, I'm sure even he will have to congratulate Aaron on that one because completely fooled him, and I'm sure Josh isn't done yet. He's going to look to the outside of turn 5. But Aaron knows where to place his car and there's no way through for Josh. Aaron would have actually been hoping, I think, that Grumps might have potentially snuck a move in as well. Oh, and
Josh. There we go. Dave and LFC into the pits for Supers.
They're going to be very quick at the end of a race. They're currently 8th and 9th. It'll be interesting to see where they end up come the end of the race. Oh, and Grumps has a huge moment. That corner, turn 9 is a real bad corner for people picking up oversteer. But will Josh be able to get a move back on Aaron? Look at the understeer Josh had through there. That was incredible. I really struggled to get the power down. And that, I think, has made Aaron pretty safe for this corner at least. Although Josh is looking like he's got a good toe. But no way through.
No, Haig is within DRS range of Mosquito. I don't see Mosquito giving him too much of an issue being teammates.
Yeah, teammate takes on quicker tyres, I think.
Yeah, he's got it.
Blue Mosquito knows that's not a fight worth having, and it's worth noting that Force India are only a couple of points behind Sauber and Ferrari in the championship, so they'll want to maximise their points, as well as Grumps looks to try and do a similar move that Aaron pulled off, but Josh was wise to it on this occasion. But if Grumps knows if he can battle Josh a bit, not only will he give him a chance to get second, it may help his teammate get a bit of a gap. So it's double positive really for Grumps at the moment, having another strong race after a podium last time out. And it's fair to say in the last couple of races Sauber really have been the form team of this F4 grid. There's actually a bit of a gap now between Dave and RC. That must be the first time this race that they're not right next to each other.
Okay, let's see what happened there. Maybe a wing change,
Yeah, maybe, for sure. Aaron, I'm just remembering now that Aaron stopped a lap later than Josh and Grump, so not only has he got track position, he should have a slightly better tyres as well. So it's all going Aaron's way at the moment! Oh, but I think Grumps has lost a bit of his front wing. He broke too late into the hairpin. Well, I'm not sure if he broke too late, but he hit the back of Josh with a closing speed, and I think he's damaged a bit of his end plate. And I think that may affect him. Yeah, it could potentially stop him from attacking Josh the way he wanted to. The good news for him, he's got an 11-second lead over Haig. The bad news for him is that Haig is on better tyres, and newer tyres at that.
Yeah.
Big C just mentioned a Grumpy not using his experience. Yeah, for someone of, I think he's 7 years, I'd say, racing in leagues. That's very unlike Grumps, but he should still have a podium within reach. We've just got to hope that damage doesn't affect him too much. These are the kind of corners where it will, though, because it will generate understeer. I don't think Blue Mosquito, by the way, will be quite so keen to let this next car past him. Because Betrayer is closing in. And there is no reason for Blue Mosquito to let Betrayer through. We mentioned all about Aaron and Josh, obviously battling for the championship, but Blue Mosquito himself is still in third place in the championship. He's not too far behind, and he won last season's championship, so he's not to be written off.
Oh, definitely not.
It's important for him to pick up points, even if it's not right with the top two. Just keep picking up points, and you never know. There are tracks going up that may produce some surprise results. I'm mainly looking at you, Singapore. I think Singapore's to come anyway. I had a brief look at the calendar. I hope it is now. It looks like Aaron's kind of got the gap to Josh under control. He's just keeping himself out of DRS range at the moment. The only problem for Aaron now is I don't think Grumpy's quite in a position to attack anymore. Looking at the gap to Haig, it's looking like he's closed in about 1.5 seconds on Grumps in the last lap, so could potentially have a chance to get the podium at the end of the race. That might be where Grumps' focus now has to go towards.
He should be fine. Catching him is one thing, passing him is another. You know he's going to make that car as wide as he can and get that podium.
Oh, definitely. It's very good, very true. It's all very well and good catching up to a car, but overtaking can be very difficult, especially when it's the likes of Grumps, who has been there, seen it, done it all. And after having been in such a strong position throughout this race, he won't want to lose the podium now. But it looks like his attempts to get second off Josh are pretty much over, because he's just losing so much time. Can Josh do anything about Aaron? As it stands, Aaron will be taking a 5-point lead in the championship heading to Japan. And I think that overtake will go down as potentially one of the season-defining moments. Not only taking the lead off a championship rival, but what a way to do it.
Definitely going to be up there for the pass of the season.
Yeah, it's not an overtake Josh is going to want to see too many times. I think it's fair to say he got a little bit mugged off there. Meanwhile, I got very worried then until I realised that's Mr. P's ghost car that Blue Mosquito and Betrayer were navigating past. That was a bad time to switch.
Yeah, was on board with him for a little bit, so I saw him come up on the Ghost.
I'm sure Betrayer won't mind me mentioning that the reasoning for his number 46, is his favourite MotoGP rider, Valentino Rossi. I'm absolutely sure of it. I can guess some of the reasons for numbers on the cars. Some of us I haven't got a clue. And Betrayer actually is in a pretty good position here to overtake, or at least have a go. Passing Blue. Blue's already gone kind of defensive. He's kind of wandering. He can't decide. Betrayer looks like... I'm not sure if Betrayer's really close enough.
No.
But Blue Mosquito, because of that inside line, didn't get the best run into the hairpin, but he stayed ahead for now. And looks like he'll keep ahead into turn 1 as well, because it doesn't look like Betrayer got the best run out of the last corner. Looking at Dave and LFC, it doesn't really look like they're going to gain much from the super softs at the end. Got a 10-second gap to Ravers. I don't think that's going to be easy for them to catch. I think they might have to settle today for 8th and 9. Simo will be wondering what could have been after that early collision, but he's going to get a point at least in 10th, and I'm sure Josh will be happy with that point, at least for the constructors. That point could be decisive come the end of the season. What can Betrayer do about Blue Mosquito? He's been pretty close to him for a while now, but I haven't really seen him have a go at trying to overtake him. I think Blue Mosquito pitted for tyres first, didn't he? I think.
If I remember right, yes.
So I think Betrayer...
One lap before.
Yeah, Aaron and Betrayer were the last two to pit out of the super soft runners. At the start. Is Betrayer close enough? Well, once again, just not quite there. You don't want to write off a driver of Josh's caliber, but do you get the impression that Aaron's got this race under control now?
I think so. He's got the clean air. Well, they both got cleaner, but he's got the cleanest air. And he has 1 lap fresher tires. That will make a difference at the end.
Yeah, Josh may be thinking about the long game here. You know, he's lost 4 points here, but 5 points is pretty easy to gain on a driver in another race, so there's not too much to be concerned about. And it once again means that he's finished in the top 2 in every race bar 1 this season.
Yep.
Grumpy's looking like I think he's got the attack from Haig under control. I think there's just too much of a gap there for Haig. But it's still a good drive from Haig. I think that... Not sure if our strategy call was the right one, but maybe he didn't feel like he could make the one-stopper work. Especially after he had the puncture last time out in Spain. Maybe feeling that he had to go with a less risky strategy, which is understandable, and he's still in a very good position.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to play a conservative to make sure you get the points.
Yeah, he did salvage 4th in Spain, of course, but not without a lot of drama. Blue Mosquito again going defensive. I think he's just trying to get himself out of the slipstream, although it's questionable as to whether there is a slipstream in this race now. Betrayer still there. I mean, he's trying to. I think he was trying to force a mistake out of Blue Mosquito, but it's not a driver you would expect to make one. Oh, and meanwhile there's a battle going on. They were the medium pair, I called them. Now they're a super soft pair. Dave and LFC are right next to each other again. And what can LFC do about Dave this time? It seems, even though they've been together the entire race, it seems like Dave's always been just a little bit ahead. And that's got to be irritating, seeing the same driver ahead of you for 95% of a race.
LFC's got the faster car too, because every time there's a gap, he catches back up to him after he makes a mistake or whatever.
Yeah, he just can't get the move done, which must be more frustrating, really. Clyde's pitted for super softs. He might be just going for a fastest lap at this point because he was in 11th anyway. Just going for that little glory at the end. No points for it, unfortunately. Looks like this is the closest battle on track at the moment. Betrayer just can't get close enough to Blue to force an overtake. What can LFC do about Dave? I think did they both pit on the same lap as well? These two. Pretty sure they did.
Yeah. Yeah, they pit the same. They pit everything together this race. They started the same tires. They pit the same lap.
Oh, and he's got the run. Can he finally get past Dave after 27 laps of trying? He's going for it. Yep, it looks like he's got the overtake, but Dave potentially might have a run down to turn 1.
Yep.
Oh, but he's he slid a little bit wide in the dirt, yeah. He won't be used to it, of course. Usually he's been the car ahead. And he's picking up the toe, but it might be a little... Oh! LFC's gone a bit wide. He's allowed Dave to take the line. Is he going to lose the position straight away? Oh, and they made contact! Wheel to wheel banging a bit. I don't think... It's not the kind of collision that would cause them to have any issues. But Dave is still right there. He's going to look to the inside this time. And is LFC about to lose the position that he gained? He goes for the cutback and they're going to be side by side heading to turn 6. This is going to be brave. He's going to brave it round the outside. His LFC, which will then turn to the inside, and he's got P8 from it. But I get the feeling this isn't a battle that's about to end.
No, still another lap to go after this one.
And LFC seems to just make a little mistake every time he gets in front, which isn't ideal at all. Once again, he goes deep. LFC just doesn't want this position. He's worked all his time to get it, and he seems to be giving Dave every opportunity to get the position. So you go down the straight again. LFC goes incredibly defensive. Definitely fears the attack from Dave. Dave goes to outside, brakes very late. Oh, more wheel banging. This is superb battling between the pair of them. And Dave will hold the inside line. Dave has 8th place back, but for how long? Because I get the feeling they could be side by side again into turn, or come turn 1. I don't think Dave will quite be so keen to give him the inside line. No, he's not, and LFC just runs a little bit wide. And it looks like Dave's got 8th place right back again. Just quickly switching back to Betrayer, who is still right behind Blue, but can't quite make the move. We're on the last lap now, so not long to go, and it looks like Aaron is going to take the win. I think we'll follow Aaron now around for the rest of the lap. He sees his championship rival not too far away in the distance, as Clyde gets to that bit of glory he was after with the fastest lap. So round and round the hairpin for the final time. Just one more corner left to navigate. It's been a long time for Aaron. Hasn't won since round 2 of the championship. But he's going to take the win here at the Chinese Grand Prix. Aaron wins in China. Josh takes 2nd to now be 5 points adrift of Aaron in the championship. Grumpy takes his 2nd consecutive podium, just ahead of a charging Haig in 4th. And it looks like Blue Mosquito is going to hold off Betrayer for P5. Yes, he is. So P5 for Blue, P6 for Betrayer. Ravers takes 7th in the Red Bull, and it looks like the other Red Bull of Dave is just going to hold off LFC, who I'm assuming will be pretty frustrated with finishing behind the Red Bull, but he's been behind all race. But Dave will take P8 ahead of LFC. Or will he? No, LFC took 8. Did Dave run out of fuel, or
did he?
I'm not sure. Did he run out of fuel, or did he let him through? He ran out of fuel. Wow. Well, if that doesn't back up the same persistence pays off, I don't know what does. LFC, who spent all race behind Dave, gets him on the line due to the... Yep, Dave's just confirmed to us he ran out of fuel. Wow, that is something. It's Simo who will take the final point, and Clyde takes 11th. So just quickly then, who was your driver of the day for the Chinese Grand Prix?
I'm gonna have to go with Aaron. He made the pass of the season to propel him into the victory.
Absolutely, very well summed up there. Definitely pass of the season. What a superb overtake to get the win and then control it from there on in. Got to say, I can't disagree with that.
Extends his points lead to 5 as well.
Yep. And even more good news for Sauber because Grumps took 3rd place, and that means Sauber go quite a few points clear in the constructors now as well.
Yep.
So
that's
really,
back-to-back double podiums for them.
Yeah, brilliant 2 races for Sauber. We'll get the podium finishes into a chat. We spoke to 2 of them last week, so it'll be interesting to get their thoughts on the race. And you will have to invite them because it's your party, I've just realised.
Ah. Okay then.
It's usually my party. This is why consistency has to be a thing.
Actually, I made it my party just so you didn't go blue screen for the race.
Ah.
So, Aaron...
Haig just confirmed his tyre wear's always iffy at China, so that's why he went for the 2-stopper. Not just the... we were thinking it was maybe the worries over that puncture you had in Spain as well, Haig. So, but no, good performance considering everything. P4's not bad at all. So yeah, no, hopefully get the podium finishes in the chat very shortly. Be interesting to get their thoughts from, particularly on that overtake that won the race, from both perspectives.
Yeah. And 3rd place was Grumpy, right?
Yes. I would say it quite had the drama element of Spain, but it wasn't too bad. I probably don't need to tell you, but make sure your party settings are on always allow.
Yeah. Make sure you're not on the blue screen like I was for FT.
Well...
Oh no, I was inviting the people today, so he wouldn't be.
Funny story, the stream was meant to be up and it wasn't working for like 10 minutes, I had to restart, so kind of missed most of qualifying, but... Nevertheless, yep, so everyone's in. We'll start off then with a race Victor Iran. Congratulations on the victory, and well, what an overtake to seal the win. How do you describe that overtake and your feelings after the race?
I'm delighted. Obviously, qualifying didn't quite go to plan as I would have liked. I thought I had a little bit of pace maybe to get a pole position. I've waited 5 years for it and it still hasn't come. But yeah, I'm delighted with how the race panned out. It was crucial to pass Haig early on in the race because he wasn't as fast, and obviously I had a lot of support with Mr. Grumpy, obviously, you know, staying behind me and not forcing an overtake when at times he was quicker. But the battle with Josh was brilliant, and I knew as soon as I had him on the inside for turn 1 that, you know, it's a really hard corner to perfect when you're wheel to wheel. So I was always going to go for the slingshot come what may, and yeah, happy that it worked out for the best and happy with the points.
Yeah, not only a brilliant overtake, but to do it on your main championship rival again, that must give you a bit of a psychological advantage going forward.
Yeah, I mean, me and Josh, you know, are fierce competitors, but also very good friends. So it's a good bit of respect between us when we battle wheel to wheel. I mean, I noticed that he had a lot of slow apex exit speed at the heavy braking zone on down the back straights. I knew there was always a chance to pass him, and I believe he had some slight wing damage which contributed slightly. But all in all, happy with the win. Good points for Sab, and Mr. Grumpy drove fantastically well. He used all of his experience there to really wrench that car home to get a podium despite his wing damage. So Manish is going to be happy.
And we noticed that obviously you won the first 2 races of the season. It's been quite a while since you tasted victory. Was that ever a concern that you wouldn't get to that top step again?
It's not really a concern, Jake. I mean, I've raced on this site for many years, so I'm just thankful that I'm given a chance to battle out there, to score points, battle for podiums. So I'm reasonably satisfied wherever I come home and finish. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm in this league to enjoy myself. Obviously, wins are a bonus, but all I can say is that I'm having fun in probably the best run league on the PSGL site.
And just very quickly, we received some news this week that you are one of the 3 people taking the PSGL F1 leagues forward. Is that going to impact you at all in what is a very close championship battle? I mean, myself, having known that role, it can be quite a lot of work sometimes. So how are you going to adapt to that?
Well, I think people see you as a dictator, then they might give you a bit more space out on circuits. I think it'll work to my advantage, if anything. So thanks for all the questions.
Hey, no worries. And again, well done again on the race victory. Move on now to Josh, who took 2nd place. Just some of your thoughts on the race and also about overtake from Mirren that cost you the win today.
I thought it was okay race. I thought quali went well. I was happy with the lap actually. It was very close, but happy to get pole. And then I think I positioned the car perfectly at the start. Got a good gap. First stint was just controlled. I mean, Haig tried something different. He was trying to do a big undercut, so it was difficult to decide when to pit, obviously, because we weren't sure if he was going to come out just in front on the mediums or. So I pitted a bit earlier than I could have to cover him off. And also Aaron was, if the Sauber crew were coming out, weaving like I was last week, pretending to go into the pits, but vocally this time. So obviously plays on your mind. But, no, the first stint was all fine, and then I got hold of my pits again, like every single week, which is obviously frustrating. So I closed them in a bit, and then I'm not sure if he caught it, but I'm not sure what Dave was doing really, but he broke, the Titanic too early, like halfway through down the straight, and I lost a bit of my wing on him. I got green wing damage. And after that, I thought my pace on the mediums was amazing considering the green wing damage. I kept it consistent, but I just didn't have the ultimate pace to keep him behind. And as he said, in the low speed corners especially, I was so slow. At the end of the hairpin, I just couldn't get the car turned in. So all in all, happy with 2nd. I mean, I didn't get a penalty. I kept it clean. Just happy with the points. Yeah, good race.
Yeah, it looks like you're under pressure towards the end from Grumps, perhaps due to that front wing damage. Was there a worry that he was going to get you towards the end of the race?
Possibly, but I think Grumpy is a similar racer to me. I could probably defend against myself because I'm quite. I can make an overtake, but at the same time I'm nice. An overtake, not that it's not nice, but there's different breeds of drivers, and so I think I'm confident when Grumpy's behind me. I'm not sure if you saw like a turn 1, I can cover the track, and I was confident. But yeah, it's different with him. He's a different type of driver. With fair play, he did a good overtake, and on the race.
And just final question, you're now 5 points adrift of Aaron in the championship. What's your thoughts on the championship at the moment?
It'll be really close. It'll be a good battle. Like I think it's better to be close than anyone running away with it. It's gonna, 1 week maybe I'll benefit, 1 week he'll benefit. I think I've had some bad luck recently, but we can all switch around. And obviously Blue is still in with a shout as well. So yeah, we'll just see. I can't really comment, to be fair. I'm content with how it's going to go, but we'll wait and see.
Alright, and well done again on 2nd place.
Thank you very much. Thanks for commentating.
No worries. Move on now to Mr. Grumpy, who took 3rd place, his 2nd podium in a row. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah. I'm surprised, actually. Didn't think I'd be that quick tonight, but happy. Just disappointed that I got wing damage with 7 laps left, so the last 7 laps were a massive struggle as Haig was catching rapidly.
Yeah, Aaron mentioned the lower apex speed that Josh had through the slow corners. Was that what caught you out?
Yeah, that carried too much speed going into the airpin and just, caught me out a bit.
Were you worried about Hay catching you towards the end, or did you feel like you had it under control?
I was alright at the start, but then towards the end I was getting a bit worried because of eating into it even more. But yeah, it's fine.
And it looks like you and are in a really deformed team at the moment, both on the podium at the last 2 races. Are you hoping that, do you think you can keep things going in that way?
Yeah, hopefully. I think carry on driving like we have, and we've got a good chance of just getting good points every race.
Alright, and congrats again on the podium. So that pretty much brings in... Yeah, no worries, not at all. Yeah, I'll be back next week with Demon for Japan. I must have had to leave early or something. And we'll see you next week. Bye.